Hello, good evening. Today I will be talking about the digestive system. What is the digestive system? It is a group of organs that break down food in order to absorb its nutrients. The digestive system turns your food into energy that you need to survive and packages the residue for waste. The digestive system is one of the largest organ systems in the human body. It is also called gastrointestinal tract, also known as GI tract. And the GI tract is divided into the upper GI and the lower GI tract. Excuse me. Some of the organs of the digestive system are the mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, pancreas, liver, gallbladder, the colon, which is large intestines, rectum, and anus. The picture on the right is the components of the digestive system, which shows in the picture all the different organs that I had listed. It's the top starts from the mouth, then esophagus, liver, stomach, gallbladder, pancreas, large intestine is the small intestine, the rectum, and the anus down here. And we will talk about all these organs of the digestive system this evening. So, starting with the mouth, since it is the top. The mouth is your entry point for food. Once food enters the mouth, the chewing breaks the food into the smaller pieces. And here's a mouth diagram. Shows some of your teeth, the tongue. Okay. Esophagus. Please bear with me. I am fighting a cold, so I might cough a few times. Okay, the next is esophagus. The esophagus is located in your throat near your trachea. Esophagus is where food travels after being chewed in the mouth. As food moves down the esophagus, it enters our stomach. And there is a picture of our esophagus. As you can see, it goes from the mouth and into the stomach right there. Okay, moving on to the stomach. Stomach is a hollow organ that holds food while it is being mixed with acids and enzymes that are secreted from the stomach wall. After food is thoroughly broken down, it is moved along into the small intestine. So here's a picture. There's the esophagus that went into the stomach. Here's your stomach. And then down into the small intestine. So food would there come into the stomach and go into the small intestine. Next is the small intestine. Could have guessed, huh? The small intestines are made up of 3 segments. It is 22-foot long muscular tube that breaks down food and using enzymes released by the pancreas and the bile from the liver. In the small intestine is where most of the nutrients are absorbed. Contents of small intestine start out semi-solid and in a liquid form after passing through the organ. Once nutrients have been absorbed and leftover food residue liquid has passed through the small intestine, it moves into the large intestine. So here's our small intestines that are inside of the large intestines here. Next, we talk about the pancreas. The pancreas is located behind your stomach. It is the size of your hand. It also makes enzymes, and the enzymes break down sugars, fats, and starches. The pancreas helps your digestive system by making hormones that regulate your blood sugar and levels and appetite, stimulate stomach acids, and tell your stomach when to empty. The pancreas also makes insulin, secreting it directly into your bloodstream. Insulin is the chief hormone for metabolizing sugar. Next, we'll talk about the liver. So the liver processes the nutrients absorbed from the small intestines. Then it detoxifies potential harmful chemicals, and it breaks down and secretes many drugs. So here's a picture of our liver. Looks like it's right there, and right here is your stomach, and there is the spleen right there beside of the stomach. And there's this little thing that's your gallbladder, which is what we will talk about next. So, the gallbladder is a small organ right there that's located inferior and posterior of the liver, to the liver, sorry. It also stores and concentrates bile, then releases it into the duodenum to help absorb and digest fats. Did not know that word, sorry. Okay, next is colon, or your large intestines. So the large intestine is 6-foot long muscular tube that connects the small intestine to the rectum. It is made up of these different segments. As the small intestine was made up of 3, this one is made up of 5. So stool is stored in the sigmoid colon until a mass movement empties into the rectum once or twice a day. It usually takes 36 hours for stool to get through the colon. It is highly specialized organ that is responsible for processing the waste. So, here is your large intestines right there. Next is the rectum. Rectum is actually Latin for straight. It's an 8-inch chamber that connects the colon to the anus. It is the lower end of your large intestine. It stores stool until it pushes stool out of your anus during a bowel movement. The rectum's job is to receive stool from the colon to let you know that the stool needs to be evacuated, and holds the stool until it is ready to be activated. Or evacuated. Okay, the last organ is anus. It is the last part of the GI tract. It is 2-inch long, consisting of the pelvic floor muscles and 2 anal sphincters, surrounded by sphincters, muscles that are important in allowing control of stool. So, and there is your rectum, and then your anus. So, most common digestive system problems or diseases. You have kidney stones, irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, constipation, appendix, ulcers, gas in intestines, and gastritis. Yep. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the Crohn's disease. The Crohn's disease affects the terminal ileum, which connects end of small bowel and the beginning of the colon. Doctors aren't sure what causes the disease, but it is thought that genetics and family history plays a part in this. Symptoms of the Crohn's disease includes abdomen pain, diarrhea, rectal bleeding, and weight loss and fever. Now, I want to talk about the irritable bowel syndrome. It is common. It is a common digestive system problem. So, signs for IBS, what I'm going to say for it, signs can vary widely. You can be constipated or have diarrhea or hard, dry stool, and then maybe the one next day you'll have loose and watery stool, and also bloating. We're not actually sure what causes IBS as well, but treatment of symptoms center largely on diet, such as eating low fat, high fiber meals, or avoiding sugar foods such as dairy, alcohol, caffeine, or something maybe that will give you gas. Okay, here's a couple of those. So here is a invertebrate digestive system compared to what we talked about, the human digestive system. So this one consists of the one opening that serves as both the mouth for taking in food and the anus for excretion. Excuse me. An alimentary canal is a long tube that begins with a mouth, then goes to an esophagus, so like the human, but then it goes to the crop, a gizzard, intestine, and finally to the anus. So we see there's only a short digestive system here for them. The same as the mouth, esophagus, intestine, and anus, but the crop and gizzard we do not have. And that is also used in the process of extracellular digestion. Most use extracellular digestion, but there are a few that use both extracellular and intracellular. Here are some pictures that I actually found that compare. So down here in the bottom right, we have, here's our human, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and then there's a rectum down there with an anus. So here's like a fly or bee, has an esophagus, crop, midgut, and hindgut. So those are a little different from ours, of course. And then here is a nematode. There's got the mouth, intestine, and just the anus. Here's an earthworm. Has a little bit more, but still different from human. There's the mouth, pharynx, esophagus, crop, gizzard, intestine, and anus. So this is just the same as esophagus. Well, right before the esophagus. Yeah. So I just wanted to show you this picture comparing. And there is my works cited. I hope you learned a little bit on the digestive system this evening. Thank you.